Hey, it's Trixie. Welcome to the underground. I know I hate talking about depressing things, and I'm going to cover it for a while. I was going to talk about how I don't like Charlie Kirk. I didn't even know who the guy was, and I come from talk radio. I've heard of him. I thought he was some 80-year-old white man, conservative, because he said stuff about Taylor Swift. We're going to get into it. We're going to get into stuff on the left, too, because I don't like what's happening on either side, and I'm I'm a liberal. I think I said this on my show a while ago after they tried to shoot Trump. I'm like, do you think Republicans are the only ones who are angry and have guns? Because it's going to keep happening. And now both of them are angry. Let me tell you, the day after Charlie Kirk got shot, I went to work and I was talking to this woman and she goes, the Democrats are over. And I was just like, what? No, you don't mean that, And she's like, they come into the stores with guns. And I said, what? What are you talking about? What store? And she goes, don't you watch the news? And she couldn't tell me. I don't know. She gets her news from outside the United States. So I couldn't even narrow it down. I was like, I better just walk away. And then yesterday when I'm working at the Big E, now you guys know what I do, right? I try to get people to do home improvement. So I'm just talking to this guy as he's walking by. I go, you're a nice guy. I can tell. He goes, what? And I said, you got an elephant shirt on. You love elephants. He goes, I don't like Trump. And I, okay. I didn't say anything political. Do I look like I want to talk about Donald Trump? So, yes, we're going to talk politics a little bit. I really like to make you guys laugh, but this is just a crazy. Everybody's crazy. And I can't take it. I'll try to sprinkle in some funny things, but wow. I don't know why. People were telling me they're watching Charlie Kirk get murdered. Why do you want to watch that? What is it going to do for you? I just want to know. Like when I was watching CNN, they froze it, which I thought was a classy thing to do. Why do you need to see all the blood? Oh, this is coming from someone who watches a lot of scary movies, but it's fake. You think I want to see someone get killed? My sister loves him, okay? Loved him. I don't like the guy, but I don't think he should be killed for just saying stuff. I'm a strong proponent of freedom of speech. Big time. You have to protect the worst speech, okay? Then it protects you. I know it's terrible. Just like the KKK can walk down the street. You have to keep our First Amendment. So, all right, let me just talk. A man's wife who was Iranian by birth, this is from Newsweek, her green card had lapsed. ICE detained her, and her husband refused to take the Trump flags down after. So this is what I say about people that really love Trump. They love Trump more than their country, more than their wives and kids. This is the way it's going. Total blind loyalty. And, Trump seems to think the violence on his side is okay. He condones that because there's a reason. It's the radical left's fault. Oh, sorry. I don't know. I mean, first I was saying it was the Republicans that were doing this. Although Steve Scalise got shot quite a while ago at a softball game by a crazed Bernie Sanders fan. His fans are nuts too. I mean, with Hillary Clinton and Kamala Harris, we didn't care enough to go crazy. That's the thing. Trump said on September 12th, which is 2 days after Charlie Kirk got murdered, on Fox and Friends, I couldn't care less when asked how he planned to bring the country together. He does speak the truth sometimes. I'll tell you. I'll give him credit for that. I like it when he's honest. I really do. I just think he's the wrong president for this kind of time. Everybody else came out denouncing it. They don't denounce it when the Democrats get shot dead in their homes with the dog in there. I mean, all death is bad. All shooting deaths are bad. School shootings are bad. When I was watching the Commanders last week, on Thursday, against the Green Bay Packers, and didn't I tell you last week that they look terrible? I was right. Penalties, their defense can't stop anything. Marshawn Lattimore, you need to hang it up. He holds everybody. He can't even block anybody. He can't cover anybody. He sucks. And Jaden Daniels can't run. Lovely. We're in big trouble. And he was limping. He got hit. He fell down weird. And he got an MRI. Yeah, he's right. Okay, we're doomed. If he's hurt, we're doomed. And I'm wearing a Sam Howell shirt. Isn't he in Philadelphia? It's very strange. And I'm watching the Giants game right now. Some stupid guy, he's a second string. slaps. I know I don't like Dallas either, but don't slap the guy in the head and then you're pushing his head on the ground. He accounted for like 4 penalties in the first series. Oh, I wouldn't like gel well with these people. So talk about the U.S. Open last week. Carlos Alcaraz and Sinner. Trump went, caused a commotion. Nobody could get in. The U.S. Open, they missed the first set. I would be like so mad. I know you got to like check people's, frisk them down and stuff, but I would want my money back. I'm sorry, but does he really need to go? He watches TV all day long. He didn't clap after Alcaraz won, probably because he speaks Spanish or broken English, whatever. I mean, I was rooting for him. He looked like he was mad. I mean, why are you mad? None of them are from the United States. Sinner's like Italian. I don't know, but he looked like he was mad. And everybody was saying he was booed. He wasn't just booed. I heard boos and cheers. So this is the way the country is. They like him and they hate him. Yeah, he did look unhappy though. They're selling Trump Daddy t-shirts. I mean, do they realize this is kind of like gay? It reminds me of like, does it come with a free Village People CD? And I'm thinking his followers are secretly gay. I don't want to say that. It's a slur. But I don't consider it a slur. They love them like gays. I'm just telling you. I know. On a phone interview with Fox and Friends on the 19th, this was a few days ago. Oh, I'm sorry. This was in August 19th. Boy, we're really going back. I'm dyslexic. See, it's going to go like newest to oldest. I want to try to get to heaven, Trump says. You're not going about it the right way. That's what I want to say. I mean, you're vengeful, spiteful, angry, hateful. Why don't you try and turning it around? You know what you think about doing? Be the opposite. That's what I say to him. If you want to go to heaven, I'll tell you how to do it. Right? They had a moment of silence for Charlie Kirk at the Commanders-Packers game, which I don't have a problem with it. And you know what I do have a problem with? There's school shootings every day, and there's the shooting at the Naval Academy, and where are the moment of, like, make it even. That's all I care about. I don't mind conservatives, like, crying over his death. I get you like the guy. I understand it. But we have people dying from guns every single day. And whether it's a Democrat or Republican, who cares? They're people. People love them. And I don't know. The New York Post said a source said Tyler Robinson, who was the shooter, supposedly, I guess he is. They saw him on the roof. Lived with a trans. So how long did it take for them to blame trans? And actually, as he was getting shot right before, they said, how many transgender mass shooters are there? And he said, too many. And then, I don't know. What did they saying? He heard it. He was like 200 yards away. I don't understand. Lance Twiggs. So what is he transitioning from a man to a woman? I mean, so his ears are that advanced. He heard it on the roof. I don't know. But why demonize? See, this is what I don't like. And I know Charlie Kirk is supposedly a Christian, right? Everybody says he loves his religion. He loves God. But why are you picking on people that are kind of weak? Like transgender don't have anybody to protect him. Immigrants, he said something about, I'm going to quote some of his stuff. He looks when he sees a black pilot wondering if he deserved the job. You know what I look at sometimes? I mean, I don't even think like that. I look the opposite way. What did that white kid do? Who did he know to get his job? I mean, I come from radio and I know how they hire people. I didn't even fill out an application to get my job. So I know how they get it, and you're already halfway in the door when you're a white guy. You have all the opportunity, How come he's not thinking like that? Something in his life made him think, a certain way about DEI and affirmative action. He seems like a weak kind of person. I don't understand. When I first heard his views, I said, is he in his 80s? I didn't know he was like 32 years old. I mean, he was attractive, nice looking family. I heard his wife speaking and I get it. She's upset and angry. I guess she's going to take over, but I don't think she's going to do what he did. He was definitely an influence over college kids. And let me tell you something else. I know colleges only allow liberal voices. As a liberal, I don't think that's right. I think you got to hear. I like to hear conservatives speak to me. I want to hear why you think the way you do. You know, a note to people that are saying bad things about him online. You know, you could lose your job, and people are losing their jobs. I guess Laura Loomer, a bunch of conservatives are calling for, shutting down of social media sites where people are saying nasty things about him. That is freedom of speech, Protecting bad speech is freedom of speech. However, there's consequences to free speech. Your employer can fire you. If you have and they're firing people. There's a website conservatives are going to that you can just tell on your neighbor and your Facebook friends. So be careful what I see. I was watching the past couple nights. I haven't said anything until now, but I would not post some, and I'll talk about it, but I would not post some of this stuff. I can't believe it. I can't believe people are, when you're heated, calm down before you go online and do stuff like that, because you're going to regret it because you can't undo it, But I don't think a trans person was responsible. And Erica, his wife, said, they. Who's they? I'm just wondering. It was Tyler, right? There's not more than one shooter that I know of. I don't think she should use the word they. Is she talking about every Democrat or every liberal? That's wrong. And again, they're going to make an excuse to shut down free speech for liberal. And I've been saying this. They're going after liberals. I said this too. They're going after transgender first, and then they'll get to gay people. We don't know a lot about this guy. He's registered to vote. He can shoot. How the hell did he shoot where Charlie was under a tent? I know he was just sitting there, but he was on a roof and he had to shoot. Do you see Michael Savage? I couldn't believe how he was dropping the F-bombs. He records his show in a bunker. You don't know where the hell he is because he's paranoid. And he starts screaming that the government's lying to us, the effing government. And he was so funny. Well, he said the rifle that he used, I guess Tyler had to disassemble it because he said he didn't come off the roof with the rifle. And they found the rifle in the woods. And he had to reassemble the rifle when he dropped it in the woods. And Michael Savage is like, why would he do that when he's running? Why would he? And he says it's hard to disassemble and reassemble. And he was like, how can Sean Hannity sleep at night? Oh my! I was kind of laughing because his anger was making me laugh. I don't know if this guy has a lawyer. I don't know anything. And Bill Maher was right. He had Ben Shapiro on. He was spouting all this stuff, and Bill came after him. He says we don't know anything, and he was going off on all the things. They said he was wearing a Trump hat. Wrong. I'm guessing he's going to get firing squad. I think that's how they're going to kill him. I really do. I just think it's going to be a spectacle. And his father, who was a Trump supporter, his mother's a Trump supporter. So he's born and bred in Utah, which is not the mecca of Joe Biden. And maybe he just didn't like what was going on in school campuses and him going, I get it. I don't like it either. Don't go. You don't like the guy or debate him. You don't shoot. You don't shoot. I use my mouth as a weapon. It's stronger than a gun. It is. It really is good. If it's used correctly, it can reach more people. They're making this guy out to be like a saint. And the stuff that he's saying, he's not Jesus. Believe me. Jesus wouldn't like some of this stuff. And it sounds like somebody called him a Nazi. I wouldn't go that far. He sounds like a kind of white supremacist kind of guy. He's spouting the same things. And, I'm just thinking and then the old Bible verse is submit to your husband. Oh, I mean, he's got a right to talk like that. But again, he sounds like an 80-year-old white guy. And I always feel like if you can handle a strong woman, you're a strong guy. So I'm not thinking, you want your people to submit. I don't think that's right. I just don't think that's right. And I don't know why he went on talking to young kids. Did he think that he was superior? I'm just wondering why, or he was just trying to get them in the political fold, We'll see what happens. The guy inscribed Bella Ciao on a unfired bullet casing. And I don't know, but that was an anti-fascist anthem in Italy after World War II. We're getting closer and closer. Fox News assistant campus director at George Washington University posted this. I got this from Fox. So these are the bad things that are being said. Quote, if nothing else, it is fair in a nation where children get massacred by gun violence on the regular. The people who advocate for continued gun ownership at the expense of those children are not immune from the consequences of their advocacy. I mean, yeah, I know, but I mean, that guy's probably gone. I mean, they're really, just be careful what you say online. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying you don't have a right to say it, but you want to lose your job over it. Don't do it. Don't fall for it. Anthony Polora, I can't pronounce his name, posted on Facebook, Pohrilda. What the hell? Quote, no thoughts, no prayers. You know how people say thoughts and prayers? He added he, him pronouns. I don't know if he's trans or something. He said no empathy. You know why Charlie Kirk said he didn't believe in empathy, but still, like, you don't have to be like that, okay? The university responded, quote, we believe everyone is entitled to their beliefs and no one should ever be subject to violence for expressing their views. Right on. I agree 100%. No matter how mad someone makes you, talk about it. God, it's getting late. An agent from the United States Secret Service, this was on CBS, put on leave for this on social media. This is Anthony Powell or something. Kirk spewed hate. This is a quote. He put this on Facebook. Spewed hate, sorry, and racism on his show. That may be true. At the end of the day, you answer to God. That's also true. And speak things to existence. You can only circumvent karma. She doesn't leave. I mean, again, placed on leave. In Chesterfield, Virginia, County School Board member Dorothy Heffron posted on Instagram, call me old-fashioned, but I remember when we used to be okay with shooting Nazis. Wow, people are nuts. You know, I mean, I remember like watching in Nazi Germany, they would tell on their neighbors, and I think we're getting to that point where if you're on the right side, you're going to tell on people that are not like that, and try to get them fired. So now they don't want liberals to work or talk. I mean, it's bad. There's a site called Expose Charlie's Murderers. Murderers? There's one murder, one murderer. The rest of them are just talking shit, which they shouldn't, but you know, don't fall for the traps. I'm telling you guys. Laura Loomer, the crazy woman from NBC, called for investigation of an Army Major General, saying on X that his son had posted online, Kirk was a racist, homophobic misogynist. So they want to look into the father now for what his son said. His son works for FEMA. He's gone. He's placed on leave. Loomer said, let's review the employment of his father. These people are out of their minds. On CNN, I heard Donald Trump floated cracking down. We know this is coming on liberal organizations. He wants to arrest George Soros. On Friday, said conservative extremists have been radicalized for legitimate reasons. Oh, he says radicals on the left are the problem. He's the problem. He's the problem. You know? I mean, you know, so this is supposedly what Charlie Kirk said. He wanted to have bail for the guy who hammered Paul Pelosi. And I saw the video where he had a smirk on his face. That's not Jesus-like. That's not Christian-like. What are you doing? I mean, that's what I'm saying. But again, he's got it right. Look at what Donald Trump Jr. did after Paul Pelosi. He had underwear and a hammer, saying he had the costume ready for Halloween. Again, they're horrible people. So what? Let them be horrible. I mean, watch out. So let me just see. Let me just see what he said. Yeah, if some amazing patriot out there in San Francisco or the Bay Area wants to really be a midterm hero, someone should go and bail this guy out. That's not cool. So this is what he said about Taylor Swift. He wanted her to change her last name. That's not a big deal. To Kelsey. Taylor Kelsey? I don't think it sounds good. You're not going to change Taylor Swift. I'm sorry. She can say Taylor Swift Kelsey. If she doesn't, quote, you don't really mean it. On his podcast, he also told her to reject feminism because she's a strong woman and submit to her husband. I'm sure they got a good laugh out of that one. Get a Handmaid's Tale outfit too, Taylor, while you're at it. I heard she's going to marry and watch Hill. I hope so. I'm going to go. I'm going to crash the wedding. And then he's quoted, she would not be in charge in her marriage. I don't know about that. But she makes more money, so who knows? That doesn't always mean you're in charge. Bigger bank account. He wanted her, I have to talk in past tense. I wrote this down before he got killed. De-radicalized from her liberal views. Having kids would make her more conservative. I have to agree with him on that. I would lock my kids in the basement. Are you kidding me? They wouldn't date till they were 20. I'm sorry. I think I might be conservative. See, it always is like how you're brought up and your experiences shape you for sure. Because I think, I might be conservative if, I don't think I'd be for guns though. I don't think and then he said, she would stop this kind of liberal endorsing Joe Biden nonsense. Yeah. He wants her to have a ton of children. What did he say? He said she wasn't a good role model. And then he said that he doesn't have any boys. He had 2 girls. He said Taylor wasn't a good role model, but Donald Trump, he'd want his sons to be like Donald Trump. To me, that's messed up. Would you want your kids to be like Donald Trump? That would be like, I would show a video of him and say, please don't act like that. Please don't act like an 80-year-old baby. That's awful. I think he meant when he got up after he got shot, when he was like, "Argh." I don't know. I don't think he's a great role model for women. I mean, why wouldn't he say, I want my sons to be like me? And that's what makes me think this adoration for Donald Trump is so bizarre. You love him more than yourself. You love him more than your country. You love him more than your God. I mean, it's scary. But Taylor Swift, not a great role model for women. She visits sick children in a hospital. She performed a 3-hour concert for a wrestling guy whose wife was terminally ill. She gave millions to her workers as bonuses for her Eras tour. I mean, I don't understand. That's something I can't get on board with him. The conservative part with kids, yeah, I probably would be. And I don't think anything he's saying is anything crazy, by the way, because that's normal, typical. I come from talk radio. That's normal. They've been saying this stuff for years. I consider it hate talk. And that's what he's allowed to do it. You don't like gays? You're allowed to hate gays. You're allowed to hate black people. You're allowed to hate. What do you say about the Jews? All I say about Charlie Kirk is when he walked down that alley, when he's walking down the hallway and it's dark and he sees the light and he faces God. And this is what I would say to a white supremacist or somebody who hates gays. And then he sees RuPaul at the end of there. That's what I want. If I was God, I'd be RuPaul. If someone hated gays, I'd be RuPaul in a dress, looking hot, because he does, just to freak him out. That's what I used to say to white supremacists when I used to talk to them. When you're dying, dead, walking down there, and there's somebody dark at the end of the hallway and the light, you better watch yourself. Taylor Swift just passed the Rolling Stones as the 6th best-selling artist of all time. Woo! Number 5 is Madonna, the Queen. Number 4 is Queen, actual Queen. Number 3 is Elvis, Michael Jackson, and number 1, the Beatles. Never got into the Beatles. Yeah, Taylor Swift showed up after a storm in Nashville when they shut the power down, or the power was shut down. And she served 50 hot meals for seniors, and the seniors like, where are the cameras? There weren't any cameras. She stayed for hours serving food by hand. They left something in the piano. It was the Maplewood Senior Home. A check for $50,000 for repairs. How's that? How's that for a bad role model, huh? I'd want my daughter to be like Taylor Swift, and plus make her money, so I wouldn't have to work anymore. That's what I'd want. I mean, she said this was this was from news75today.com. This is a small gift to help with repairs and to keep your community thriving. With love, Taylor and Travis. So that's very cute. I hope they have kids. So this is what. Oh, hold on. This is what Charlie Kirk said. I can't stand the word empathy. Why would someone, why did he talk like that? I don't get it. Actually, I think empathy is a made up new age term. That's sad. I feel sorry for him. That's just sad. And he says it's worth to have a cost of, unfortunately, some gun deaths every single year so that we can have the Second Amendment. He loves this. I'm a First Amendment person. He was a Second Amendment person. So I disagree with him on the empathy thing. I think empathy Isn't that the way? Isn't that the reason why God destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah? He always looked at Leviticus. Why would you pick Leviticus in the Bible? I wouldn't go to that chapter where they say you can own a slave as long as it's a foreigner and not your own people. You can own a slave for a time and then cause that, the gay people should be stoned to death. I don't think God would write that, to be honest with you. I think some jerk slipped it in. I really do. I wouldn't pick Leviticus. I like Exodus. I like Revelation. Gee, it's about love. Don't twist it. It's evil to twist it. Charlie Kirk said passing the Civil Rights Act in '64 was a huge mistake. He blamed, quote, Jewish money for ruining American culture. Gay people are destructive. I don't like it. I defend it. I defend it. I defend his speech. I don't know, but what that answer to the transgender mass murderers were 5. It's that high. I didn't think there were that many of them. But there's a lot more young white men. That's what they do. I hate that this is such a miserable show. It's 26 minutes in. Can I just do one good thing? The happiest people in relationships do 5 things, and they're free. Going on micro adventures, exploring their town, shop, coffee, museums. 2, they do their hobbies side by side. I watch TV, you can read. Doing different things in the same space. Psychologists call it parallel play. Number 3, make time for their thing. Shared hobbies and rituals. Game night, hiking, biking, karaoke, TV shows. Number 4, they turn boring tasks into play, like errands. I don't know how you can turn doing the dishes fun, but whatever. Making boring seem fun. Maybe just like playing music while you're doing the dishes. I have no idea. Number 5, honor the old traditions, remembering the first date. I remember that stuff. That's like Taylor Swift's. Remember that Taylor Swift song that I picked out that I named after you? The honeymoon phase will never end. And that's Mark Travers, my favorite psychologist. All right, let me end this because no one's even probably watching at this point. I probably depressed you 20 minutes ago. All right, guys, sorry it was such a terrible, depressing, but just try to tone it down a little bit with the anger because, like, if the left gets angry now, the right's already angry. What are you going to do? We're going to we can't hate each other. We're going to lose. Meanwhile, Putin's flying drones over Poland, which Trump called a mistake, by the way. Oh, they didn't mean to do it. Okay, whatever. All right, guys, I'm going back to watch football. Love you. Bye.